Hi everyone. Decided I would do a reading on camera. This will be my first one. Very exciting. This download actually came through early this week with the song Stephanie McIntosh, You Should Have Lied. And it was more focusing on if a tree falls inside of a forest and nobody hears it. So we'll work out what this reading is about as we go through. I've been feeling really blocked and a bit drained at the moment, so I didn't pursue the reading. But I was out on my walk this morning, and I went past the park near my house, and a big gum tree had fallen down, and I heard it again. So I decided we're gonna push through, see what comes through. I pulled some cards to start with while I was listening to the song, just to work out if what the energy is there. So I've got withdrawn. I'm getting more of it not being so lonely, just removing yourself from people in your life, taking time to germinate. I think you're reliving, like under review, any loss or grief or sorrow that you've been feeling recently, working through, moving on through the next stage. I think you're starting to finally feel forgiveness you need for yourself, so giving yourself grace and understanding this is all part of the journey, not judging so much for the loss and the grief that you've gone through, forgiving yourself feeling lonely, taking a stand for yourself. And then we've got nourish, so growing, focusing on yourself, finding your soul, which is lovely. Following on from that, we have elusive. I feel like you're kind of in the realization that you feel like there's deception, like you're not seeing clearly. But I think you're having epiphanies and understanding and awakening that you're breaking free of shackles, limiting beliefs and things like that that weren't truly aligned to you. You've also got running that came out with the realization. I don't think that you're running, and I don't think that's about anyone else. I just think that I'm hearing patterns. I feel like you're breaking down the patterns that you once felt. You're understanding why you did what you did, how you reacted, and healing the wounds and thoughts that you've had. Focusing on healing, releasing, purging and cleansing. I think instead of sinking into just despair and falling apart like you have in the past, we're stepping more into a healing journey. So, you've had the epiphany, you feel like it's an illusion, but you're just seeing clearly for the first time. You're no longer running from it. You're no longer sinking in despair or falling apart. You're taking the time to feel your emotions, releasing, purging and clearing, and letting go what no longer serves you. I think you're creating new perspectives, that you're better off and you're happy and you're clearing your headspace, especially after feeling left out and cold and abandoned in the past. I think for so long you wore a mask, you felt abandoned, but I think you're changing your perspective. You're looking up, you're finding a new perspective, you're looking up, you're finding things to be grateful for, stepping into the healing journey. Also setting boundaries, drawing a line. You know that you're enough, you know that you're better off, that you can't keep accepting what isn't truly within, like, what you're worth. Brain's still not braining at the moment. So bear with me, we'll pull some more cards. We're going to continue with more of what is in your energy. So 6 of Wands, it really is a time for success. I think you're finally feeling proud of yourself, letting yourself feel your achievements. You're seeing the milestones and the confidence boost. I think for so long you've been carrying such a heavy load, brink of collapse, the responsibilities weighing you down, you're feeling overwhelmed and overdone. You've overcommitted for so long, you keep making poor choices and feeling really scattered and dropping the ball and overwhelmed. But I think you're starting to feel your success. Winter solstice, so you're finding your light within. And I think this is a growth that you'll see for the next year, that you're tying up loose ends, you're validating your own feelings and hibernating again. So taking time to sit with yourself, sitting in stillness so you can really come into your own strength. I think you're finally giving yourself compassion, confidence, you feel encouraged, your belief in your self-belief, what I was going to say. You can see your infinite potential. I think you really are just stepping into your power, especially because you feel, I don't think you're in spiritual isolation. I don't think you're cutting off. I think you're removing yourself from people and places that were, truly not aligned with you. And I think you're finally seeing that, which is amazing. Oh, that was High Priestess. That jumped in and then jumped out and then jumped back in. I really can't get my words out today. Oh. And that was the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower that flipped over. And I think, when you're stepping into your strength, you're being rewarded with the 9 of Coins. You're maturing, you're feeling fulfilled, you're seeing the freedom. I think for so long, I'm feeling like you were free the whole time. Like, I'm seeing I can't think of the card. Brain's really not braining, but like, you can remove the shackles at any time, and I feel like you thought you were shackled, but you're not. And I think by stepping more into your own power, you're finally feeling the freedom. You're feeling satisfied with yourself. You can feel the abundance that is around you. I wish I could remember that card. I can see it in my eye. I think you're reevaluating the miscommunication, your judgment on yourself, which was clouded. You're redirecting that into something better. I feel like you're changing it and you're conquering your self-doubt, doing it differently. I'm seeing, like, I have a whiteboard that I do and I write down everything I do differently. Like when you have your niggles and you think, like, I'll go to the gym, or I want to go on that road trip, or I want to go down to the shops and get that, or starting a new hobby, just at times where your higher self is saying to you, like, let's get out, let's do this, let's do that. I think that's when you meet your soul people. That's when you'll get the downloads that you're meant to do. And I think when we go into spiritual isolation, there's times that, while it's not bad to isolate, I don't think you should for very long periods of time, but I think you shoot yourself in the foot. And I know I did when I really stopped listening to that. So I've got a whiteboard and I write down every day something that I've done, or multiple things that I've done that's listened to the niggle instead. And I think you are starting to do things differently, whether it's health, creating new routines, getting out more, seeing friends, even getting out and just into nature, going for a walk. I think you really are starting to change up your life. I feel like you can feel the strength that's coming over the next year, the accomplishments that you will get. It's beautiful. I also like to keep it and keep as many details and downloads that I get. So I heard cucumber. I'm going to the shops, maybe you need to go buy a cucumber. Or if you're eating cucumber, I don't know. Cucumber came into mind, so if that can resonate with you. This is what I was seeing, the 8 of Swords. You are removing, if I can get the light right. You were removing the mask. You were never truly shackled. I think for so long you were carrying things too close to your chest. You're going over what got away from you. Self-interest, the mask and the lying and the paralyzed that you've been feeling. I think you're thinking that maybe you're a bit of a drama queen. Like, you were very doom and gloom at any negative thoughts, and now you're looking back and going, why the fuck did I do that? Why the F? Already sworn, but you know. But you're going through death, a rebirth, a complete renewal. You're breaking out of this energy. Oh, the heart even flipped over. I think you're coming up with strategic, doing what's right, cause and effect. With the Justice card, looking at balance. There could be some legal matters in your life or people close to you. But I really do think you're stepping into a whole new power. So obviously the next year is what this reading is getting at, but I would like to tap into the future. So we're going to roll a die. We're going to focus on weeks. So whatever number comes out is the number of weeks that we can tap into of, we'll start with lessons coming towards you. So 7, the next 7 weeks. What is coming for the next 7 weeks for this collective? 7 weeks. Oh. It's really honest. Very nice. Okay. So I think you're finally walking away, releasing what doesn't serve you. You're realizing it's time to move on, letting go. 6 of Storms, trouble ahead. I think there is a storm brewing within of you that you feel like there's no progress. I think there is slow healing, but I'm not getting the energy that it's about to worse. So I just want a card to clarify, because I feel like that's what you're stepping out of. What's that? Nope. What is that? What's that one? I feel like, you're setting goals, you're feeling grounded. You could be stepping into magic, which is quite funny because I decided that we would grab a pure magic card, so maybe that is something that you're still working with magic, studying magic. But I think the storm brewing inside of you is how it is meant to be, but I don't think I think you're stepping into your power with it. You're setting goals, you're remaining grounded. The 3 of Coins, the lack of momentum. I think you're uncommitted to a lot of things and trying to do it alone. But I think you are learning from past mistakes. You are trying to get out more and do more things. Like I'm mentioning the whiteboard, that's how I got out of my rut, and how I could slowly do more and more things for me and go out and see more people and make new connections, because it was clarified by the Lovers, connections, relationships, alignment, openness, duality, and the Ace of Wands, that you're needing an outlet, that all of these things, like the storm brewing, it's just bubbling under the surface, that I feel like you're lacking direction, but there's so many emerging ideas that you're trying to incept them. But you're starting to feel emotionally connected and being in flow. That's what's coming. Also psychic abilities, intuitive, maybe that's something as well that you're trying to tap into with the magic. The Emperor. So I think you are stepping more into action oriented, getting it done, sending in your authority. Beautiful. You're just adjusting, releasing, you're getting your priorities straight. You're baking at the moment, you're sitting in these things. And I mean, I'm keep getting cards of both energies, so I think you've got two options here, that you could isolate, not break the cycle, go back into fear, antisocial, back into the Three of Coins of not learning from past mistakes, or you could step into the star energy, the wish granted, spirituality, serenity, step into your purpose, your renewal, healing, hope, the future, having faith in what your third eye is seeing, instead of feeling, what was the words? Instead of that doom and gloom, because I'm getting both energies of the doom and gloom and the wish granted. I want to do for the next 7 weeks, what is Spirit asking you to focus on? What's the lessons, the shadow work that needs to be focused on? A win-win outcome is forecast. I think really it's just up to you. We've got 2 with scales here, so we've got a full moon in Libra and a new moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins, and a fiery climax approaches with a full moon in Aries. I'm going to do under the win-win outcome is forecast, the mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. I think you're the one that has to bring balance into your life. You're the one that has to step into this fiery climax. Spirit always wants us to win. There's never going to be an opportunity they give you that's not destined to you. You know, what you see in your 4D mind, what you envision for your future, it's all possible. I just think it's time that we don't learn the lessons. We repeat the cycles. You're just prolonging what's truly destined for you. It doesn't mean that it's not for you. I don't think it's time for the new romantic cycle. I think it's a time for you. It might be a test, because nothing will come of this situation came out. I think it is a time. Spirit is asking you to step into this climax, really give to yourself, nurture yourself, step into your mission work as well, give to the universe, give that unconditional love. Heal the world is what we need. The universe is full of so much judgment, and I've said introduction as well, like people judging you for what part of the journey you're in, or whether you're even on it. I was listening to another reader this morning, and there are so many people that say this journey doesn't exist, and that it's never about coming into union, or that, you know, most people aren't truly on this journey. And yeah, it is. It's depending on what label you're choosing, but we're all spiritual beings. And I think even if you're not coming into union, or, you know, the manifestations that you're trying to bring into your life aren't coming, it's not about their journey. Maybe they're not doing the work, or they're missing the boat, or they're missing what the universe is asking them to work on. Their story doesn't have to be your story. You know, stepping into this climax, seeing this as a win-win regardless of what happens, like the spiritual lessons that you're learning along the way, whether you're coming into union, whether it's a new romantic cycle with yourself or with someone else. I'm getting it's just not the right time. Not that there is nothing to come of this situation. There's always something to come from this. There's something to learn in everything. And I mean, we're the ones that came into this soul contract that our lives really are planned out second by second. I don't believe in any coincidences. That I was helping my friend the other day and I said something and it was the podcast she was listening to. Something else came up and it aligned with what she was going through. There's no coincidences. Our whole life is planned out to the second. But nothing is set in stone. You either put in the work or you don't. And putting in the work means that your red threads, your manifestations, your soul contract, your mission, whatever you're working towards could come into fruition a lot quicker than you're anticipating. And I think if you're not doing the work, that you're still stuck in the same cycles. You're not going to get what you want. I just think you just stay in the cycles for far longer than you need to. I think your time right now is just focusing on doing the work regardless. And maybe if a tree falls inside of a forest and no one hears it, can your person see you doing the work? Can you feel you're doing the work? It doesn't matter whether people can see you or whether you're getting validation for what you're doing. You're doing it for a reason. It's part of your contract. All the things that you see and you feel for yourself, that you can vision this beautiful future with them or the beautiful life you vision for yourself. It's possible. It's just, will you do the work? Whether you get the validation, whether you can see it in the 3D or not, because just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Yeah, we'll pull some more cards. My hands are too small for these cards. They're a bit hard to shuffle. Balance, spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. I think so often we get stuck in such a spiritual focus that we get lost in it, that, you know, you're seeing, like, you think you're seeing so clearly, but we're not, because you're not, like, you're just awakened. That there's so many stages to spiritual awakening that even when I started, I had no idea. I thought I was like, oh, I'm done, I'm baked. But the amount of healing, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows that you feel, and then you're also stepping into this like delulu, but you're also trying to be so practical in your logical minds, like you're fucking crazy, because everything that you're envisioning is not happening, or it feels like it's so far at a depth. So I think it's a time to balance those two thoughts, the two, you know, the two energies at the moment. Finally I can think clearly. Be bold, make the first move, and a time for healing. This is not a love reading, so nothing will come of the situation with a romantic cycle and the be bold to make the first move. None of this is about another person. This is about you. I think you're the new cycle in life. You're stepping into something bold and beautiful. It's a fiery climax, but I think in some ways you're brewing. I think it's a test before something comes in. I think the next 7 weeks is about you focusing on yourself, that it's a great time for healing. And I think you just have to be bold and make a first move for yourself. I think you need to self that if you do something that your soul is desiring, you'll survive. I mean, I did a coaching course years and years, and we were taught that when you have a fear of something that you don't want to do, our nervous system used to be, I need to keep myself alive from this saber-toothed tiger chasing, I need to let it live. Obviously that's not a risk anymore. We have the same stress responses of the fight and flight over someone texting us back, someone merging in front of us in traffic, our phone dying. Our fight and flight is programmed for the world that we live in now. This is not a love reading, so nothing will come of the situation with a romantic cycle and the be bold to make the first move. None of this is about another person. This is about you. I think you're the new cycle in life. You're stepping into something bold and beautiful. It's a fiery climax, but I think in some ways you're brewing. I think it's a test before something comes in. I think the next 7 weeks is about you focusing on yourself, that it's a great time for healing. And I think you just have to be bold and make a first move for yourself. I think you need to yourself that if you do something that your soul is desiring, you'll survive. I mean, I did a coaching course years and years, and we were taught that when you have a fear of something that you don't want to do, our nervous system used to be, I need to keep myself alive from this saber-toothed tiger chasing, I need to let it live. Obviously that's not a risk anymore. We have the same stress responses of the fight and flight over someone texting us back, someone merging in front of us in traffic, our phone dying. Our fight and flight is programmed for the world that we live in now. So I think this fear that you're feeling, you just need to be bold and make the first move for yourself. You need to step into healing, start that new hobby you've been thinking about, sign up to the gym that you've been thinking about, go meet up with friends, go ask a co-worker if they want to have a drink, go to the markets to get some food, fresh vegetables, whatever you've been thinking about doing. Just be bold, let yourself have what you want, step into this climax and this new romantic circle. Give to yourself, stop taking from other people, give to yourself, be bold, step into your healing journey. I am all for shadow work. I fucking love shadow work, probably a little bit too much. It can be quite confronting, and I am still finding it quite exhausting at times. Like, I'll do 4 or 5 questions every couple of days, once a week, and I'm like tired. I did one on Wednesday, cracked through my shadow, and I'm still feeling tired and clouded and adjusting to life outside of the shackles and the limiting beliefs. So we're going to do the heart's hidden secrets and see what comes out for shadow work. You could be working on things that over the next 7 weeks you could be called to work on to help you step into your power. Inspire climax that's coming. Family came out and I put it separately. It just felt like a separate part. Depth and healing was on either side of the deck. So the family card came out and I'm thinking this is like the overarching energy I feel for the next 7 weeks. I've heard 2 very different downloads. The twin flame came out with lusting. So I feel like in a twin flame relationship, in the lusting period, I think that this is something that has been promised to you. It has created an emotional storm within you, and you're feeling the conflict and the conflicted of the hot and cold and the multiple choices and the differences and incompatibility that this promise has created in you, and it wasn't delivered. I'm also hearing like a pregnancy lost. Could have lost a pregnancy with the person that you identify as your twin flame, and that has caused stress and tension, arguments with the person, or just tension within yourself. I'm getting there was a lot of pretending, a lot of bluff. This was never really spoken about with this person. You're still carrying the pain from this loss, and I feel like it's not something that you would have spoken about with this person. I'm getting a lonely energy again, that not that you did it by yourself necessarily, but I think for so long you've been resisting the healing from this. On the other side of that, we've got foundation, so establishing a family and security. So someone, and I'm not saying the next 7 weeks that if someone's coming in with this offer, and I feel like if it's something you've envisioned for your future, I think there is someone that wants to build a foundation with you. They want to return, second opportunity, making amends, beginnings, try again, new direction, start over, could be someone from past life, so deja vu. But we're not going to repeat patterns and karmic cycles and lessons with that. So, but again, if something in the next 7 weeks and that's offered and you run off and do it, I still think we're in the review period, the lesson period. If someone's coming in with that, I would be, taking my time. But we've also, so going back to my original question, shadow work that could be coming up. So loyalty, trusting in yourself, and I think back to the spirituality and the practicality, stepping away from your ego and your arrogance, stepping into your trusting. So working on how you can trust yourself more, how you can trust your intuition, stepping into your full self. And then we've got one day and obsession. So trusting in the one day, in the someday, that if you've seen it in your eye, it's coming to you. You don't need to obsess over time frames. You don't have to be infatuated and addicted with thought patterns. How can you step into your true power? Possibilities, free spirits, adventure, risk, and intimacy. So again, I'm just balancing, being more free-spirited, adventure, getting out and doing things. Maybe you should get a whiteboard for yourself and write down things that you would like to do, going out of the house more, being more adventurous, bonding with yourself more, creating intimacy within yourself, create that relationship, take yourself on dates, do things. Maybe that's something that you can focus on. How can you make yourself feel more loved over the next 7 weeks? Intuition, telepathy, inner knowing, bitterness. I think so often we get such great downloads of why we're doing it, but we obviously don't know our timelines, that we get so caught into the bitterness because you're seeing something coming, but it's just not coming in the time frame that you think that it's coming into. You get bitter and you get angry and you grieve and you project this anger on the people. You get to your breaking point and then you apologize and then you step back into the intuition. Like the 4 cards have come out together, that I think you have all these intuition, you imagine this great future, it's not coming, so you get bitter and you get angry and you get to your breaking point and you can't do it anymore, and then you want forgiveness, you want the return, you're sorry, you'll trust yourself more. The next time you'll get another download and think, oh yes, no, that's definitely coming in this time, I'm right. And you get to your breaking point, you'll get bitter, and the cycle repeats. How can you get out of that cycle? How can you trust yourself more so you don't have to get into the bitter and the breaking point? Just forgive them, forgive yourself. It's all part of the journey. Just trust the inner knowing. You don't know your timeline. It's so beyond you. The universe has you. You don't need to worry. I pulled some of the pure magic oracle cards. And these also come with a spell. So if this is something that you've been tapping into, or of the magic. And again, we're not here to do magic to manipulate timelines, manipulate people. Self-love. If you want to bring in magic in adding abundance to your life, we're not out here manipulating or tapping into other people's energy with spells. Just my so they will come with spells and I will put them in the caption. So we've got ancient amulets and sylphs. So ancient amulets, fortune, protection, skills, possessions. So it could be something you're stepping more into protection. Maybe you need to get a jewelry piece or something and create a spell that has protection around it. A ring, a necklace, a crystal that you carry around with yourself. Just anything you can add an extra layer of protection around you while you're out in the big wide world. And sylphs, peace, agent of change, impact, importance. I think you are coming into change, maybe stepping more into your power, so you become an agent of change for more people and create more of an impact. So the ancient amulet is a earth card, so it could be an earth sign. So it's number 2, and we've got number 14, so 2nd of the 14th, 14th of the 2nd, I mean. 4th of the 1st, 1st of the 2nd, 2nd of the 4th, could be birthdays, memories. So ancient amulet object used to either draw a specific good fortune or to serve a general protection device. Once you start carrying the powerful object for a specific intent, it becomes an amulet. The word amulet indicates the object's inherent power of being used to benefit the person. Amulets are also fashioned by human hands. Maybe you need to research that, because there is history based on amulets and making them. Once created, an amulet becomes an independent force and it radiates its own energy. Most amulets can be transferred from one person to another. They benefit that they carry or whoever they come in contact with. It's like Aladdin's genie. Maybe you need to watch Aladdin. It's in service whoever possesses the lamp. Own your authority, wear the badge of magic, loud and proud. Do not forego protection, and use your patience and power with your spirit and mind. Again, balancing between your spirituality and your practicality. Definitely up your protection, especially if you're like me and you've been feeling very bloody tired of recent. And then we'll do this, which I believe is water. No, it's air. Maybe there's a reason I thought it was water. So it could be an earth air and an earth water pairing. Like the big three. Sorry, I just had a bang. So they're often mistaken for traditional fairies, but they are much older and wiser. Part of the fairy family. They have a similar appearance, but are human-sized. They are rarer to encounter. They hold incredible spiritual intelligence that allows them to shift energy at will. They can foresee purity in what we take for granted. When toxicity begins to form in the atmosphere, they appear to sound an alarm that action and attuned foresight. Which I think is what you're stepping into, that you're no longer letting these toxicity patterns and cycles continue. So maybe listening to your inner self, whoever's guiding you. They come to speak to you and offer their magic and purity and wisdom. You've been chosen to stand with the magical beings in flight and offer your own magic to change the environment around you. Offering your unconditional love to the world, changing the world. Be mindful of energetic waste and debris contributing to the toxicity, working to eradicate it. Unrelated, but also be aware of your eco footprint. So just notice on the bottom, Baraka, power, strength, force, expansion, which I think is what you need. So it could be earth, water, air, fire. I'll just read this one because I was drawn to it. It's 21, second of the first. Could be seeing the number 21. This power radiates from all living beings, varying in force and clarity. The Polynesians refer it to Mama. If you look up the Baraka, there's different languages and words to identify this power. It is a positive power. It can be transmuted. You could be a transmuter, like me. If you're constantly feeling drained and frustrated, if things just aren't working out for you, and if life lacks a spark of joy, it is very likely that you suffer a deficiency from this power. Mother Earth has the power, but also the mighty source. Your power is unique, and by expressing it, the power, positivity, you become a valuable asset to this earth. You are connected to nature's loving core. Put down your distractions and move back into the wild. I think that's how you connect back to your inner strength. If you have been feeling quite tired, maybe that's why I keep talking about it, because you're also feeling a bit tired like me. I will roll some dice for numbers that you may be seeing, to know if this message aligns with you. So I've got 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 11, 32, 12, 4 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 could be seeing consecutive numbers. And 7 again. 7 is very significant for this collective because that's the number of weeks that we tapped into. I've obviously got earth, fire, water and air, but we have those star stones, so don't make it fit. It's either the earth, water, fire, earth, air. That's the pairings. I just had to go find my beads, so we're going to do initials. So these initials will be car, number plates, name of you, and this reading was very much about you, but obviously there was obviously some energy of other people. So if you do identify as on the twin flame journey, or having a divine counterpart that you're currently in separation with, it will spell out yours and their name, either changing the speed that I'm reading this at so you can cross out the initials of the people, or if you just want to write down everything that I write down so you can check off against number plates you see for the next 24 hours. Maybe go for a walk and see if you see any of these letters on number plates to see if you're aligned with the energy, or just writing down the names and, as I said, like crossing off initials. First off, 6 is by itself, love heart, 5 CMX, but we've got another love heart, so we've got U V S F L Y P G. What's that? Need to get me glasses. G I M W L B N K L P A U. Could have a personal assistant. F S W U T. I just heard cutie. U A C. H S G E. F G S. Oh, I don't know why I said S. J A S C 4 P G Y C L I Z W J C Q T. There you go. That's the Q T. D O dot. Could have a grandma dot. S S C R I F Y F U U V G B I O U Z H R J S J. Really need to get my glasses. A bit blind. Q J O G R S L P W I N X Y Z G D O P M U C C U M. I'm sorry, I don't know. I want to see. I've moved that away. That's significant because that's out. So we've got 87. Could be seeing consecutive numbers, 8 and 7. 5 again, 3 3. Could be seeing 3 3. 2 8 9. So yeah, consecutive numbers. 0 5 6 7 9. 8 8. Could be seeing 88. 8 8 8. 4 7 2. An I is also significant because that's by itself. An X. X marks the spot. Love heart, star, moon, It could be like me, went out and sat outside the other night and tried to see Mars or Saturn. If you can see that in Australia at the moment, Mars, I think, and I think you could see all the planets recently. Anyway, could like star watching, getting out into nature. Maybe I'm right with a camping trip. Maybe you need to go on one. And smiley face. Be happy. Be positive. I hope this resonates with some. And I do the extra bits again to try and nut down the collective. So you can receive the message and know that it's for you. So please use the initials and the guidance and downloads that I get. Anyway, love you all.